Deal with it all the time. And it's pure dirty water. The pastor cannot figure out how that split just happened. The worship team walked out and took everybody with them. Why? Well, people are emotionally attached to the worship and the team, and they begin to use that as a power over the pastor, and when he won't do what they want, fine, we're leaving. And he doesn't have this skill, so therefore he gives into the dirty water. We had this start to happen in Montana. We had a really successful worship team, and dirty water started to show up, so it was kind of, we need to sit down and work through your soul, and the worship leader said, well, that'll be just fine. I guess we'll just be going to another church next week. I don't know what the church is going to do when they find that out. It'll be the whole team going. My husband was great. He goes, that's okay, I have a DVD player. And I can tell you what, there are better worship leaders than you. And I, for $11.95, could have them come in and lead worship. Shoot, I could get 18 different worship sessions going that'll be great just by buying, just 9 of them, because you can flip the other side. And he was just not moved. And they were suddenly without power. Well, let's talk. You see, it was a very wise move. He didn't give in to this. You see what I'm saying? But most do. Most do. Because skill is a way that we can make someone need us. Your refrigerator's broken. I can fix refrigerators. How badly do you want my skill? How badly you want your refrigerator fixed? We'll jump through hoops for certain things. We had one guy in the U.S., as I've been teaching this, that said, I got really convicted when you said that because I learned computers so people in the church would need me. And I don't even like computers. Went to night tech school in order to figure out how a computer worked because he kept hearing in the church, oh, a stupid computer, I don't know what to do with it. Oh, so if I know, then they'll call me. I'm called to the party, see. I have a relationship. So skill. Well, what if you don't have ability, you're ugly, you're not the boss, you're broke, and you've got no skills? That's okay, there's one more. It's a sad one, but maybe you know someone. And they have 1 through 5. I know the worship pastor, okay? And they like me. And because they like me, you should like me. I don't have these, but I'm so special without them that this person likes me. It's what we call name dropping. Let me tell you who I know. I had somebody recently that was very interested in the things that I teach, and they wanted to bring the things that they teach to me because they wanted to link our ministries together because I'm going throughout the world, and they thought that would be a great idea because what they're teaching should go throughout the world. And so I thought, okay, no dirty water in that, but so I went and we looked over, and all the materials were fine, but they were all performance. So I brought one of the young guys that's lived with me. He's been through here, Eric. He went with me. He's really training in what I'm doing and has been for 7 years. And so he went with me. And so he's looking over the materials as I'm talking and reasoning this with this couple. And so then he had a look on his face. I said, Eric, what are you thinking, son? And he said, oh, nothing. I said, Eric, I brought you along to comment. What are you thinking? He said, this is exactly what I'm getting out of. This is pure dirty water. Well, they didn't have a clue what that meant. And the husband looked up and says, Jack Hayford himself likes this. Well, that's nice. He's a smart guy. So I said, Eric, what do you say to that? And he goes, well, that's great, but I can trump you. Jesus likes me not performing for value. And so although Pastor Jack scares me if he likes this, but we can pray for him. He said, but I got to go with Jesus. And unless the foundation is built on agape love, I just got out of this, and I'm working to get rid of my list. So what an impressive answer. I will not be intimidated. You see, the minute you allow people to intimidate you at this, they've ascribed value on you. The minute you succumb to either performing for it or wanting others to perform for it, you've just let the devil ascribe value to you and to them. Is that who you want determining what your worth is? I was so valuable they abused me in a hospital for years. I was worth nothing. A little animal, just torture it. Just torture it for years. Isn't this fun? It'll die by the time it's 20. It doesn't really have feelings. You see, that's how the devil, he loves to torture. He'll put you in a cage and get a poker that's hot and jab you. That's the value he places on you. Well, I don't want him ascribing how valuable I am. I don't want him in charge of me at all. Now, number 7 is if you don't have the to-do list, then you have number 7. I am not valuable. These are the people that do drugs. These are the people that live in chronic depression. These are the people that rape and kill. These are the people that have given up on being a human. They've quit. I don't have water, and now I'm flopping like a fish on a plate, dying. And so I'm taking a few of you with me. That really is what happens. They are now so selfish because the only one that loves them is them. And so they turn into a horror, whether it be anger, depression, you name it. They'll turn to drugs, they'll turn to alcohol to escape. I believe that many of the malfunctions in society, like homosexuality, is a part of this. I am so malfunctioning for lack of water that I'm just trying to survive now. Or worse, since I'm not valuable, I'll just kill myself, which is an ultimate act of selfishness. And it's all about only me. And I'm not happy, so I'd rather be dead, regardless of what that does to the relationship, because we're all a relationship. Now, we don't see that because we've gotten so used to the dirty water that we can see people in the paper, they got killed, and they go, oh, that's too bad. There isn't a sense of a soul just left the earth in a bad way. God, you can count on it, is weeping. But we're so desensitized in the pollution that we just don't feel it. Because when you really live in the water and you feel it, it hurts. Whenever somebody leaves the relationship, it hurts. I travel in countries where there are pastors being murdered for their faith. And when in Sri Lanka recently, they had a little girl on the way to church, 5, 6 years old, and they beat her to death with umbrellas, the Buddhist peaceful priests. Now, that's some parent is dying inside. That was their baby. But if we can bypass that without a real serious, what that means is we're desensitized. That's just a number. That's not a person. That's just a being that I have nothing to do with. Do you see that? So that's evidence of the segregation in our soul. This part of our soul will weep. The hardest part of my ministry, apart from being separate from my family, is to be around the world in such pain and poverty and then fly into the U.S. and say, oh, man, what a bad day. I couldn't get to Starbucks. And then, let me mention about this person, this kid got killed with umbrellas. Starbucks? And yet I have